Hello again, and welcome to the Comics Online podcast, Season 16, Episode 32. It's 30-something. I'm not exactly sure.
This guy.
It's 30-something. Never mind. So, that's for you. I'm your host, Kevin Gaussoin, and with me today, as usual, is my co-host, Troy David Phillips, store manager here at Flashback Comics in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Where?
Flashback Comics!
In where?
Woodbridge, Virginia!
And I do what?
He manages to convince you to buy, frankly, the most amazing comics that are out in the market today, and you will enjoy it. You will be like, but my wallet. I love to buy snacks, and Troy will be like, you know what? You can make your own snacks at home. Don't even worry about that.
Exactly. It's much more economical. Make your own coffee at home, and the money you save can be spent on comics here in the comic book store.
Troy will have you eating healthy, and you'll be reading comics. You'll be looking for coughing in the parking lot. Coughing is in the parking lot, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So season 16, episode 30 something. This is the 12th of July 2016, and I'm putting the date out there to let you know that we are a Pokemon Go stop here, Flashback Comics, Woodbridge, Virginia.
So come and spin the thing.
Yeah, come do your thing. Catch something. Like Pokemon. Catch something Pokemon.
Preferably Pokemon. You probably aren't going to catch too much more than that. No promises, though. Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, well, this guy, he can barely catch cold.
So, as always, we've got the top 5. This is the point 1 episode, as always, is our top 5. It's the Flashback top 5 comics, and so I'm going to give you my top 5. These are my 5 comics that I think you might want to check out, or at least that I want to check out.
Yes, indeed.
And Troy is going to tell you.
I'm going to back up and show you some of the highlights from previous weeks, and I've got a nice assortment of things today. Do you want to start, or shall I start?
Well, you know what? I'm going to need your help with some of these because I'm a little bit confused, but confused in a good way.
Okay.
So
I'm going to lend Kevin both my hands here.
First of all, we've got Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps Rebirth. Now, what's the deal here now, Troy?
Well, if you were not reading Green Lantern and the Edge of Oblivion and Green Lantern Corps Lost Army, then that's what you've missed. The Green Lantern Corps, minus Hal Jordan, were trapped in an alternate universe, lost in time. They are, however, coming back from the Edge of Oblivion. They have found their way back into DC Universe Rebirth, and Hal Jordan is going to connect with them. Now, up to this point, the Rebirth Green Lantern title has focused on the female and Simon Baz, the young woman who came onto the Green Lantern the Justice League with Power Rings ring. She now has an official Green Lantern ring, and she is working with Simon Baz. We haven't seen Hal in a month or two, but now we're going to. We're going to see Hal. We're going to see the return of the Corps. We're going to see the Sinestro Corps. We're going to see a lot of things. I'm not going to spoil too terribly much here, but I did want to give you a little taste of the squishy goodness within.
So this seems like, okay, for people like me, or in other similar situations who have not been reading Green Lantern, for, let's just say, about 52 months, just give or take, just saying, because, DC, come on.
Kevin, despite the new 52 continuity reset, Jeff Johns' Green Lanterns continued.
Okay, fine. All right, fine. You had Snyder doing Batman, and you had Jeff Johns doing Green Lantern. So fine, I'm not going to fault you if you still enjoyed Green Lantern. But here it is.
However,
I got behind.
He got behind. So a lot of things have happened, like Sinestro leading his Sinestro Corps to protect Korrigar and the Korrigarians, and the Red Lantern.
I'm a fan of their cardboard boxes.
Oh, this guy.
It had to be said.
Yes, indeed. So in the pages of Green Lantern, and I believe in Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps, we're also going to see the other corps, like the Blue Lanterns, the Red Lanterns, the Yellow Lanterns. So a lot of that story continuity is going to be continuing. Robert Venditti, Ethan Van Sciver, this is looking like good stuff.
And my favorite, of course, the Indigo Lanterns, and to my brothers, knock.
So, number 1, Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps, DC Rebirth. What's next on your hit parade, Kev?
Well, speaking of compassion, Web Warriors. I don't know how that really translates, but let's just go with it, shall we? We've got 2 Peter Porkers on the cover. We've got Peter Porker and Peter Porker 2099. What? What's going on? I don't even know, but I love that cover.
This is pretty spectacular. I like the fact that when I hold it up, the arrow to I'm with stupid is actually pointing that way.
And I clearly picked the wrong day to stand on this side of Troy.
This is the side you always stand on.
That's true.
So, Protectors of the Spider-Verse, Web Warriors. This book has been...
It is a fun book.
It's so much fun. It covers so many of the Spider-Man mythologies. Spider-Man England, Spider-Man India, Spider-Man Noir. It has, what's her name? Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
And it has... The female Dr. Octopus, who is not actually evil, and it has that legion of Electros gathered from across the multiverse. All those Electros, putting them all in one place, you knew it was going to end badly. And here it is, ending badly. Actually, it's not over yet, but it's going badly.
It happens.
Yes, it does.
Do they play the spider? What was it? The Itsy Bitsy Spider when they all get together and
no,
they don't do that.
No,
it should. It seems that was a good part of that movie. Anyway, so Troy, hey, like I say, I am coming back to things, but I'm coming back to Batman Detective Comics. What? Issue 9? What? 937 or something like that? What's going on, Troy? Why is the numbering so delicious? 936. Sorry.
936 of Batman Detective Comics. James Tynion IV, one of my favorite Batman writers. He was an excellent writer in the pages of the New 52 continuity, and he is still an excellent writer now in the DC Universe Rebirth. The answer to your question is a simple one. Okay. Action Comics and Detective Comics, the 2 books that have been with us since the 1930s, have reverted to their classic numbering. So, if Action Comics and Detective Comics had not been interrupted by New 52, then 936 is the issue that we would be up to.
I'm going to give some people some spoilers here. There's spoilers.
Oh, look at this. While he is showing you those spoilers, I just want you all to remember, in less than 50 issues, Action Comics hits 1,000. In less than 70 issues,
it's an advertisement. It's not really spoilers. It's a joke. I thought it was funny.
You get really cranky when you're hungry.
Yeah. So 1,000. That'll be our first 4-digit comic book event ever.
Yes. American comic book history is about to be set here. Because as much as I love Marvel Comics, and I really do love Marvel Comics, not Captain America, not the Human Torch, not the Submariner, there is no Marvel character that can, in fact, there is no other comic character that can lay claim to the cycle of continuous publishing that Superman and Batman, and to a lesser extent Wonder Woman, can lay claim to.
So, Troy.
So, Kevin.
If he's not your first favorite, he's usually your second favorite. And the 10th Doctor, Year 2, number 12, features a very familiar, and if you would, grab that other one.
Oh, yeah.
A very familiar cover, and here's last month's. So we've got classic Doctors, and we've got the Fab Four current Doctors lined up as the Fab Four.
The Fab Four. I see what you did there, Ken.
Yeah.
I see what you did.
Yeah.
So, yes, ladies and gentlemen.
The ongoing adventures have been excellent. Have you been reading this, or are you behind?
No, I have actually not been following the Doctor Who comic from Titan. I usually get it in digest form from people who do read it. It is not one of the 140 titles a month that I read.
Worth it. You know what I read recently is some of the old Marvel. You're talking about your flashback, because this is Flashback Comics top 5, right? Where he goes and talks about some stuff that is maybe recent, but maybe not. something that I looked at was Marvel Doctor Who from the 80s.
Yeah.
With the Fourth Doctor. I thought it was pretty nice.
Oh, yeah, Tom Baker's Doctor.
Yeah.
He pops up in a couple of different places. Actually, in the pages of the Star-Lord Special Edition, which has the Claremont burn and additional framing art by Michael Golden, by the way, you get a backup story with Tom Baker. It's a short, but it's got a nice kind of feel to it. This would have been an excellent 20-minute episode. It really would have.
Nice. And the letters page had a fun thing where they were talking about, here are the first 9 doctors, and they went into, and there were like some specials that weren't like the regular episodes, and they're like, and then there's this guy, and then there's this guy, and we're like, that's not. I'm afraid you're wrong, sir. Because they're going into non-standard. Hey, guess what comes out this week?
He almost skipped it.
Guess what comes out this week? Something special. Civil War II #3.
Oh my!
And look at
goodness.
that cover with the spot glass. I'm a fan of spot glass. Look at the ComicsOnline, business cards, and you'll see how I love the spot glass. Anyway,
so if you have not been following the series, long story slightly shorter is that the conflict of Civil War II is based on the emergence of a new Inhuman named Ulysses, who has the power to mathematically project an algorithm that gives him the most likely outcome in future events. Now, what this has led to is Carol Danvers and her team of heroes, mostly Avengers, but not exclusively Avengers, attempting to change the future by acting preemptively. Now, this leads to some philosophical questions. Iron Man is exploring the other side of those philosophical questions. Iron Man has opted to protect the future, but certainly to let the future happen as it needs to happen before you act. There has been tragedy already. If you have not been kept current, I won't spoil it for you, but an important character has left us as of this moment. Now, we are, of course, also talking about the future. We're talking perhaps about changing things. It might be possible for this guy to make a comeback before the story is over. I'm keeping my eyes open. I'm holding out hope. Who knows? And by hope, I do not mean the little red-headed girl that palled around with Cable for months. That was your cue, Kev. That was your cue.
Sorry, I'm reading this comic and it's enthralling. Anyway, hey, hi people. I was just reading comics here at the comic store, and I really need to catch up on things. You should too.
He does.
This is kind of good, and I'm getting all the side things. Well, maybe not all of them, but most of the side comics as well, and they seem pretty good.
You poor guys.
Who doesn't love some Brian Michael Bendis?
I don't know anybody who doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, hey, Civil War II #3 is out this week, but you know what else is out this week, but was sort of out last week? Dark Knight 3 #5. Here's the hardcover edition. Of course, was it last week or the week before?
The week before we had the floppy, if you will, the softcover comic version.
Yeah.
Which, that's fine for some people. There are people who actually prefer that. And
some
then there is this hardcover. Now, the hardcovers, DC is not keeping these in print, people, so there is not going to be a second print, third print, and on. You got to get these while they're out and put together your set. 8 books, and then the slipcase comes with the 8th issue. The spine contains artwork. It forms a Frank Miller picture, and it's cool looking.
Because he couldn't be bothered to draw the rest.
Oh.
Well. He's busy. He's busy being Frank Miller and stuff.
Yeah. So, now, moving
Troy.
on to mine, I'm jetting backwards a little bit here, and I'm going to start with this, I couldn't even remember what issue number, the 41st issue of Revival. Celia and Norton continuing their urban noir that deals with the aftermath of the Revival event where the dead have been brought back to life, but not like zombies. They're alive. They're not all together with us. Some are a little more alive and quick-witted than others. And this book has brought drama on multiple levels. Involvement of the government and the military. It has divided family lines. It has introduced a lot of interesting subplot to the main plot. And it's building towards a climax. Revival will be coming to an end. The next issues begin the final story arc. If you have not gotten into this book, I'd strenuously recommend it. It is available in trade paperback form. You can get the trades, which will lead you up to the current issues, and then you could jump right on here and follow along the Seeley Norton story until it's over. I'll be sad to see it end. It's been so good. Yeah. Now, I went backwards here. Teen Titans has not had its Rebirth #1 yet. I pulled this one up specifically because it has, in the story, Monsieur Mala, the talking gorilla with the French beret, and the Brain. Longtime Doom Patrol villains. Monsieur Mala and the Brain have that tangential connection to Beast Boy. You might have actually seen them in one of the animated Teen Titans series, like Teen Titans Go, and you may remember them from the much earlier Teen Titans, New Teen Titans storylines. In any event, I just love the two characters. I think they're an interesting blend together, whether they're on their own, whether they're leading the Brain's Brotherhood of Evil, which also includes Madame Rouge and Warp and Plasmus. Never mind. This is good stuff. So, yeah, definitely dive on the Teen Titans. Also, I didn't grab it, I didn't show it to you, but I'm going to mention the most recent Teen Titans annual. I believe that's annual #3, where that sets up storyline to come in the Teen Titans Rebirth. We've seen a little bit of a change of heart in Tim Drake, a.k.a. Red Robin. So things are happening, and they look emotionally... I'm a little worried. I'm a little nervous.
You know, this kind of reminds me, you know, have we seen in Marvel, the Marvel analog to these, have we seen the Headmen lately?
We have not.
Okay.
We have not.
See, something to bring back.
You know, sometimes I miss them, sometimes I don't. So next up, IDW has been giving us Walter Simonson's Ragnarok. Ragnarok, of course, is a treat on the Asgardian mythology. This is kind of a post-Ragnarok. We see Thor, yes, that's Thor on the cover. And the form that Thor is in is not the form that you would most heavily recognize. Thor is back for a new cycle of life, and he's not quite looking himself. This story is very, very different from the Walter Simonson Thor epics from the 1980s, and I appreciate that. I think Walt Simonson is a great love for Norse mythology, Viking mythology, and it shows in the pages. It shows in the pages of Ragnarok the way he does the artwork. It's just as good as Walt Simonson has ever been. And this week, the 9th issue of Ragnarok hits the stands. So if you have not been reading this, I strenuously recommend coming in, picking up the back issues, maybe grabbing a collected issue, and getting caught up. It's just that good. What? Oh, yeah. IDW.
When did this come out? When did this come out?
3 months ago. Where were you?
I don't know, but I'm taking this home with me.
IDW, ladies and gentlemen, is giving us the Micronauts. This is the first issue. We're actually up to 3 issues on the Micronauts now. Maybe you're like me and you're old enough to remember the old toy line from Mego Toys, an adaptation of the Microman toy line, marketed in America as the Micronauts. Marvel had this book for a very, very long time, a combination of characters based on the toys and new and original characters that Marvel actually still owns. This Micronauts series does something similar. Cullen Bunn doing the writing, and so of course it's going to be good. Cullen Bunn is giving us characters that we recognize, like Biotron and Microtron and Croyer and Space Glider in a female form, but also giving us some new stories and some new conflicts, reintroducing Baron Karza, reintroducing Prince Oberon, Force Commander. Yeah, this is good stuff.
And the only thing we won't see It's Bug, because that was a Marvel creation.
Yes, Bug was a Marvel character. He was supposed to be analogous to Galactic Warrior, but he did not resemble Galactic Warrior enough that Marvel lost him. So we still get to have Bug. The last time I saw Bug was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, there you go.
It's been a while. So I picked up, this is a 1-2 punch here, ladies and gentlemen, because I've actually been enjoying this series.
Or one might say a 3-4 punch.
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe you're a fan of Mike Allred's art. You might remember him from the Image series Mad Men. You might remember him from the Marvel series Ecstatics. Maybe you're a fan of his work, and maybe you're not. But you should be a fan of Dan Slott's story writing on Silver Surfer. Now, we've got Silver Surfer.
Amazing Spider-Man.
This is his 50th anniversary. Hey, we're not talking Spider-Man right now. And in the pages of Silver Surfer, we were introduced to the character Dawn Greenwood. Dawn's been actually a very interesting and endearing character. She is the grounded, normal girl that never actually wanted to have a wild, adventurous life, which is exactly what she has right now. Now, hold up that cover one more time, Kev.
This cover?
Yes, that one. Right. The reason I picked number 4, it's one of my favorites, actually. The cover is reminiscent to Marvel 2-in-1. Remember where Ben Grimm was injured after battling Champion of the Universe? And so his superhero friends came and stood guard over him while supervillains came to attack him. This cover kind of harkens back to that.
Don't crease the petunias.
Don't crease the petunias. So
I'm quoting a comic that I've read so many times, but it's from the early 80s.
Yeah, that's Kevin for you. So, yes, Silver Surfer, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say one more time. This particular story arc that Kevin is thumbing through deals with the return of the Zenlavians. We get to see Shalabal and Zenla, Silver Surfer's native people.
Kiss your mother with that mouth?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Yes, I do.
Just checking.
It's been a couple of months because she doesn't live close to me, but whatever. In any event, that story has been resolved, and now Silver Surfer is dealing with the fallout of the loss of his Zenlavian culture. And Dawn Greenwood is right beside him there to hold his hand and help him get through it. Once again, it's a really good read. So even if you're not a fan of Mike Allred, I am. Maybe you are. Again, maybe you're not. But the story is so good, so definitely give it a read and keep an open mind.
You know what I think, Troy? I think that if we've got some viewers here, some of our audience, maybe their comic collecting is not at its best right now. Maybe it's fallen ill, you might say. And if you need somebody, you need somebody to hold your hand, this guy. Troy David Phillips, store manager here at Flashback Comics and Games in Woodbridge, Virginia, will help you out, and he will get you whatever it is you need. Maybe it's something odd that they don't have. He'll still help you. Don't worry. And this is the type of store that you can come in and talk to Troy David. You hear him talk on this show and on his spotlights. He can talk, but he's going to tell you. He's going to inform you and help you make the best decisions with regard to your comic purchasing.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been spending a lot of time actually lately helping out parents with younger readers. Maybe you're a reluctant reader. Maybe you've just got a need for some summertime fun. So. And you need to know what is good content for a younger reader. I am more than happy to help you with that. I will show you what suits your 8-year-old, your 11-year-old, your 15-year-old. And then past the age of 15, you probably know what's best. So wherever you are, whether you're intermediate, you've been out of it for a little while, you're a beginner and you don't know where to get started, whatever, come in and ask questions and I will walk through it with you. There are no such things as stupid questions when you're getting started into comic collecting. There are things you don't know, and you need to know them. So, hey, I'm here to help you.
So beyond that, beyond buying anything you want here, of course, anything comic-related, come in here to Flashback, and Troy will take care of you, I promise. don't even worry about it. He's got you covered. But when it comes to everything geek pop culture, Comics Online is everything geek pop culture, and we're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con coming up. And so please look forward to a lot of content. The easiest place to get it all will, of course, as always, be on our website, right? ComicsOnline.com. But you know what? Maybe there's little bits and bytes that you're not going to get there. So subscribe to our social media. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Instagram, of course, as well. Anything, all the social media, just at Comics Online. That's where we'll be. And it's not just me. It's not just me and Matt. We've got a whole handful of people down in San Diego that will be covering the event, and we're going to be interviewing the creators and stars of all your favorite comics and television shows, games, movies, everything. Troy, we're gonna go. You like Archer? We're gonna go on a cruise with the cast. So that's neat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Megan is about to melt down over there. Yeah, good stuff. Check it out and follow us, and we'll be friends. Say hi. And if you have any questions for anybody, now's the time to ask. Let us know on Facebook.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go eat.
Let's go eat.
From leaping tall buildings to going off like gamma bombs. Switch your internet browser to ComicsOnline.com.